that's where we put our name on there. Okay, then we talked about this page in here, that this is a really great one that we could use as our materials list. So I've written some materials here, and I started to write materials I need, but it's really not me that needs it, right? It's whoever's reading the book. So I crossed that out and I wrote, oh, materials you need. Then I drew a little picture here of some sand and a bucket, and I labeled it kind of. And I put shovel. Is there anything else I need to make a sandcastle?
Oh, water.
Shane?
Bucket. What? Sand. What sand?
I think that's about it, sand, but maybe I could say, maybe, I only called on Shane. In our book this morning, remember on their materials list, they did something that was kind of cool. They put in parentheses down here what you would need, why you would need those 2 pencils. Remember with the eraser tops? Because I was thinking, well, why would you need pencils and erasers to build a drum? And then when they put that in parentheses, I understood a little bit more. So maybe I should do that on my booklet here, sand, and I could put in parentheses underneath kind of, well, do we want it really wet?
Kind of. Well,
We want it sort of like slightly wet, right? Slightly wet. Oh, wait, I really don't. Slightly wet. Okay, so I'm going to put slightly wet. I need my bucket, I need my shovel.
And you need
All right.
some water.
So then I'm going to start to write my steps. And remember, I want to, just like we did with our story planner hands before, we want to think, okay, what do I need to do first, second? I want to plan it out across my hand. Okay, Macy, we don't need a sanitizer right now. I want to plan it across my hand before I ever start to write, so I can figure out how many pages do I need, and I want to just kind of get it all situated in my head so I know what the steps are. Yes, Avery, what?
And you can, for you can have seaweed and
I could, yep. Maybe I'll add some of those things back in later once I kind of think through the basics of it, because those are all good suggestions with the shovels and the shells and the seaweed and stuff. Yeah. Mari?
I was going to say one time we went to the, I think Blue Lake, one lake, and we were playing, and then Freddie's like, let's go make a sandcastle, and we did it, and we made it with water and
Oh.
everything.
Cool. So you'll know if I'm doing the steps right. Okay, so I'm going to plan it across my hand first. And Nolan, I'm going to put up a finger every time I say a step. Okay, so my first step when I build a sandcastle is to scoop sand into the bucket. Right? Okay. My second step is then I make sure the bucket's all the way full. And I need to kind of pat down, Mary and Maddie. You need to pat down the top of the bucket. So I'm pretending, okay, I'm going to scoop it in. Then I got to sort of press it down. Why do I do that? Oh, I like Riley's hand race. Yep.
So it's flat.
Well, so it's flat, and when I push it down, I'm kind of doing something to it. And if I didn't do that, if I just scooped loose sand into it, what might happen, Caitlin?
It could soak in.
Okay, like the water wouldn't soak in, maybe. It's sort of like when you take the bucket off, if you've ever made a sandcastle, it'll fall apart. It's got to be sort of pushed hard, right? Okay, Macy, you with me? So first I scoop the sand, then I push it down and make sure that the bucket's full. That's important too. And then I'm going to tip that bucket over and carefully pull off the bucket, right? Okay, so I'm going to write these steps out now. So I have step 1, and remember I'm going to use those words that we came up with and that we talked about this morning. Some of those words, those transition words like first, second, or next. So I could do second or next. I could do then, last, finally, sure, after that. Those are all great transition words that help me. After that, that help me to know I'm moving on to a new step. So I'm going to use some of those as I write. So first, you need to scoop sand in your bucket. So here I have my bucket. And I have my shovel. And I have some sand. Filling up the bucket, right? Okay, so first you need to scoop sand in your bucket. Then my next step, use my story planner here again. First is scoop, next I pack it down, right? So next, pack the sand down. Okay. So I should see my little hand on my arm. Forgot my neck, but that's okay. Remember, these are sketches. I don't need anything fancy, right? Okay, so next, pack the sand down. And then, after I scooped it, I packed it, then I flip the bucket over. Okay, flip the bucket over. So, third, flip the bucket over. So now I should show my bucket upside down, right? I'll handle off to the side there. And last, it's from the copy machine. Just ignore that. So first I flip it or scoop it, pack it, flip it, and lift the bucket. Last, you need to lift the bucket off. Okay, so there's my steps. Oops. There's me again. I'm just going to draw a stick figure this time. Lifting the bucket up. Okay, now hold on. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look carefully at my story. And I'm going to think, when I read it to my partners, this is your job today. This is your job today, is you're going to look back at the story that you wrote or any that you've written before, and you're going to remember, read through the steps and think, is there anything I can do to make that clearer? So I said, first you need to scoop sand in the bucket. Anything I can do, you guys are my partner, anything I can do, what could I do to make that clearer? Anyone have an idea? Oh, that's my next step though, is to pat it down, but think. I said scoop some sand in the bucket, so I scooped some sand in the bucket. How'd I do? Caitlin? Oh, I kind of did. Okay, so I drew some sand on the bottom. If Nolan walks up and he goes, scoop. But then Maddie over here, she walks up and she goes, scoop, 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 scoop.
It's 12.
Did I say how much?
PM. Fast forward.
I didn't.
It's time for fast forward.
Fast forward, kids may go. I didn't say how much. So look at right there. I could say you need to scoop sand in your bucket until
It is full.
it is full. Oh, so I should take my period out right there and add that in until it is completely
Full.
full. Oh, that's much clearer. Let's see if we can do anything to make this page clearer. Next, pack the sand down. Does everyone know what packing the sand down means?
Yeah.
Oh, I see about half the hands raised. So maybe I should make that clearer because not everyone knows that. Pack the sand down by doing what?
Putting your hand on it.
By smushing my hand down to make the sand down really tight together, right? Isn't that what I'm doing? So next, pack the sand down with your hand so that it is nice and kind of hard, really, right? I don't want it to be like smushy anymore. If I can smush my hand down, it's not going to be all packed tight. Oh, you can let him in, I'm not sure.
Oh, they're leaving today. Mom has to leave at 1 o'clock. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
I got it.
Hey, Nico. Oh, I wish that was everybody. Hey, Nico.
All All right, so let's review. Your job today, everyone listening? Over here, Ellie. No. Your job today is to go back through a writing. If you haven't already planned one out, you need to plan one out first. But if you have one on your done side, I think everyone does now, then your job is to go back through your writing, read it to your partner, and think, partner, help him out with this. How can you make that more clear? Pretend you're teaching this to my little son, my little 2-year-old son. Does he know what you mean if you say scoop sand in the bucket? What's he going to do?
Scoop sand in it.
He's maybe going to put some sand in there. What does scoop mean?
Like scoop it with a shovel.
Oh, I didn't really even say that, did I? First, you need to scoop sand in your bucket. First, you need to scoop sand in your bucket with your shovel, and then he might understand, oh, I got to pick up my shovel now, right? So pretend, even though you guys know these things, not everybody does. So pretend you're teaching it to my little son, and if you're a partner, pretend you're my son, and think, oh, I don't really know how you do that. I'm not sure what that word means. What's scoop mean? What's pack mean? Can you make it clearer? Can you add some more words in there? Okay, so that's your job today as a partner. You're going to partner up with your partner from the rug. Okay, your writing partner. Read through your writing. One partner go first. Read through it. The other one pretend you are my son and that you are trying to do what it is that your partner has written about. Okay? Then we'll come back together in a little while.
Pretty much
Similar to it, but we're making it clearer today. Okay? All right, so go ahead and go.